Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, very exciting day today. I got my package here, and it's a pretty big one. I will show you what it is. Alrighty, so my lathe finally came. I got just inspecting the package. I got up here in the shop. I'm a little out of breath. Thing's pretty heavy. Got a little bit of damage on the side, so hopefully it's packaged pretty well and nothing will be broke or dented. But that right there has been up too. So hopefully nothing inside's hurt. It's about 100 and I think it's 145 or 155 pounds what the packaging weight was. So I'm sure whoever had to get this on and off the truck struggled. So hopefully nothing inside's damaged. But I also got the accessories with it. It came today too. So I think we're just going to start with this. We'll open it up and go through it, and then we'll open the big one. I'll probably get all these little pry tabs off camera and try to keep this video short as possible. It's probably going to be a pretty long one anyway because I'm pretty excited. So let's go ahead and dive into this one first. Alright, so before we dig into this, just let me say I got the kit that I got. It was the Creworks and 8x16 lathe, and it come with the kit, which come with all the tooling and you know, some extra parts. But the reason I decided to go with that model is because it had an upgraded 1100 watt motor versus the other one was listed at 750 watt, but if you read the fine print, it was actually 600 watt, and it was a brushed motor. This was an 1100 watt brushless motor, supposedly. We'll see here in a second. But that's why I decided to upgrade. So all the parts that we're about to see is what is included with the kit. If you get the standard version, this stuff would not be included with the kit. So it was actually just kind of a free goodie bag, because what I really wanted was the motor itself. Alrighty, let's dive into it. Alrighty, I'm back. Got the camera set up. I'm just going to fold it down here on the bench, and we'll just go through this box together. Alright, so this is the accessories. Should be some tooling, center, 4-jaw chuck, stuff like that. Alrighty, so first, you got a set of digital calipers. We'll have to test these out and see if they're any good. I got a set of Lyman. They're not digital. Oh, that's pretty cool. It even comes with a battery. They're actually metal. I figured it'd be plastic. That's got a battery in it. That actually doesn't feel too bad. I mean, obviously it's probably cheap, but it's metal. It doesn't feel that bad. It's got some weight to it. I'll have to compare it with my Lyman's, see how accurate it is. Alright, so a micrometer, that'll be useful. I don't have one. Well, I do have one, but it's a lot smaller than that one. I'm assuming this is probably going to be a carbide insert. I don't know, it's a little ruler angle, square. This looks like the drill chuck. This is the Morse Taper 2 drill chuck. We'll have to clean that up. It's got some cosmoline on it, some oil, with a key. I'm hoping this key will fit my drill press back there because I lost mine. This is the lathe center, or the follow rest. I'm not sure which one. Or center rest, not lathe center. Sorry. Yeah, this is the follow rest. This is made out of cast. It's all metal though. It's cast metal. Got them look bronze or brass. That piece looks a little bent, but I'm sure I can make a new screw. Alright, moving on. We'll put all this back in the box when we're done. Here, this is the center rest. That was the follow rest. I'm sure I'll use this a lot more than I'll use that other one. Yeah, them look like they got bent in shipping too. That will attach to the ways on the bed, and then you can center up your work. But yeah, I'm gonna have to probably get new screws because them look bent. It'll probably end up breaking if you try to turn them. Maybe not. We'll see. Ain't a big deal. We have a lathe now. We can make screws. Little metal ruler. I'm assuming this is the either lathe center or, yeah, this is the lathe center. I'm gonna have to get me a toolbox for all this stuff. All my toolboxes are full. And then the quick change tool post. This is kind of a cheaper version, but if it works, I'll use it. I'd rather not buy one. Since it comes with one, I'd hopefully can use this one. Okay, that's not too bad. It's made out of aluminum. It's small. And then your tool sit on there. And you can adjust your height with this. Sorry, my hands are in the way. You can adjust your height with this, and then you'll lock it down with your center lock. This piece here is what locks it in. As you can see, it's cammed. It's cammed over right there, and you got the little. Sorry, I'm not getting that on camera. You got these right here that when you cam over, it puts force on this so it can't come off. Yeah, it's not a half bad setup, huh? Hopefully that will work, and I won't have to buy nothing else. I had a kit in mind that I wanted before I decided to go with the this kit. Oh, it comes with, there's a tool. That's like a brazed inserted tool. It's not interchangeable. That's like looks kind of like a boring bar to me. This would go Yeah, right here. So you got that would go in there like that, and it would be a boring bar. All right, moving on. All these little set screws have fell out. All right, we're almost there. We've only got a couple more boxes. Okay, so here's our tooling. This actually has a insert changeable, like for carbide tips. I don't have one on it, but you can see that's where it goes. That's interesting that all these come with individual packages. I figured it'd just all be loose, but they all have their individual packaging. Comes with a little wrench. That's pretty cool. I won't open all these, but it comes with several of them. It comes with several different ones, and I guess this right here is the inserts. Yeah, right there's the inserts. And I'm sure I'll be buying a lot more of those. All right, cool. And I'm assuming this is one of the two chucks. This comes with a 3 and a 4 jaw. The 4 jaw may or may not be used. I gotta look at it. This is the 3 jaw. Sorry, my hands are in the way. Yeah, here's the 3 jaw. Nice and oily, ain't nothing rusted, that's good. There's the backing. I'm very impressed so far. I'm not gonna lie. I read and saw tons and tons of bad reviews on these kits that the parts you get are junk or rusted or unusable. I really didn't want to get the kit just for that reason. But so far I'm pretty impressed with all this stuff. I mean, I'm sure it's not the best tooling in the world, but just to get started, it'll most definitely work. All right, one last chuck. Here's the 4 jaw. So when I said I may or may not use this jaw, the reason being is in the pictures it showed a self-centering 4 jaw, which is what a 3 jaw is, and that's kind of pointless to me because I most definitely need a independent 4 jaw. So we'll see if it's independent or not. Yeah, it looks independent. Or I mean, it looks self-centering, sorry, not independent. So by that, I mean with a independent jaw, you have a turn for every jaw, so you can tighten one down more than the other to clamp on funny looking shapes or materials or what have you. But with a self-centering, when you turn this, all 4 jaws close at the same time, and I really don't see the point in having a 4 jaw if you have the 3. I don't know. I'll play around with it some, and I may get it to work for what I need it to, but I will probably invest in an independent 4 jaw eventually. We'll turn it just to see. Yeah, it's self-centering. They all move the same. We got one turn, they all move. Okay, that's okay. I mean, like I said, the kit was basically for the motor upgrade, so that's not a huge deal. This one does look like the same bolt pattern as the 3, so I can bolt either one of these up without a adapter plate. With the independent 4 jaws, you got to have an adapter. I'm assuming that's why they did this, is because they didn't want to make the adapter. Alrighty, so that finishes up the accessories box. Let me get all this cleaned up and flip the camera over, and we'll start opening the big box. Alrighty, I'm gonna start taking these tabs off. I'll probably speed this up because I know nobody wants to watch me take all these tabs off in real time. So I'll film it and I'll speed it up. I might even just edit it out depending on how boring it is. Alrighty, we are in. So these tabs, once you get the hang of them, they ain't too awful bad. You just got to kind of bend them up, and then I took a hammer and bent it back over until I could pry the little flap loose. But here it is. Try to get in here, and I can start just taking it out one piece at a time, I guess. There's the chip pan. Got a little rub on it, that's okay. Seems to be packaged up pretty well. Here's another little toolbox. We'll go through that in a minute. Little instruction book. Alrighty, let me give you a walkthrough with it in the crate. Alrighty, here it is. I gotta get these side walls off, and then I think there's 2 bolts holding it into the crate. But first thing I noticed is the tailstock is going to have to be adjusted. It's all the way down. It should be locked, and it still moves. So that's okay though. Here's everything looks okay. I mean, it's plenty of oil. I don't see any rust. I have to clean it up, but it looks good. I don't see any shipping damage. That hole was right here, so it don't look like it hit anything important. I don't see any dents or dings or scratches, so that's good. I ain't too worried about scratches, but alrighty. So let's go ahead and finish taking this box apart, and I've got to figure out how to get it on this bench. I'm probably going to go get I got to get this thing up on the bench after I get it out of the crate, so I probably have to go get some help. I'm probably going to go get Dart Freak Jr. out here to help me get it on the table. I could probably lift it, but I really don't feel like throwing my back out because I kind of want to play today, so I don't want to hurt myself. But let me finish taking this box apart, and we'll get a better view of it. Alrighty, I'm back. So I got it up on the bench. I managed to get it up here by myself. It's not quite as heavy as I thought it would be. I mean, it's 140 some pounds, but I was able to kind of tilt it up on the heavy end and put my hand under the base, and then just reach around and grab the base down here on the other end and just pick it up off the wood. But let me flip the camera around and show you where we're at. Here we are. So I just kind of am trying to place it where I want it to be. It's not bolted down yet. I'm trying to decide if I want to kind of keep it off the edge. I don't want my control sticking out past the bench because I don't want to snag on it every time I walk past the bench or hit it with something. So I think I'm going to keep it about centered with the bench. And I got to drill some holes, and I want to go underneath with some 2x4 and reinforce it this way. So there's no studs here. There's a stud here, and obviously there's one here because it's the end, and I got another one right here. So there's no studs that I can actually hit with the center. So I'm going to put in one here, and I think I'm going to double up one here and put it there. But that requires me to move all this to get under there to do it. So I'll probably do that another day. But let's, before we get it bolted down, let's just kind of go through it and see what we got. So like I said before, this is going to have to be tightened down for sure. I'm going to get through here and clean the bedways. They're actually not dirty. They're just, you know, just got grease, packing grease, which is okay. Better than rust. Got some chips down here, like I guess like machining chips. I'll go through and clean all that off. One of the things in the reviews that I seen was like the play in the handles here, and this one's no exception. It most definitely has some play in it. If you look here, I'm gonna go to 2.5. and you can move the handle that much before it ever moves. So that's most definitely going to have to be tightened up. Let's see, what is the so each mark is 0.25 millimeters. So that's a good 10 millimeters of play, probably, if I'm reading that right. The compound feels pretty solid. It seems like all the play is in the cross slide down here. So I can't really tell. I feel a little bit of play back here, which we can tighten that up. That's no big deal. I think this one does have a carriage lock. I'll have to get in there and play with that and see if that's what it is or not. Let me get my handles put on real quick so we can work these controls a little bit better. So I forgot to show you what come in this toolbox. They come with your change gears. I need to go through them and see what all it comes with. A little set of wrenches, some screwdrivers, some Allen keys, and of course our handles. We're going to put these on right now. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get our handles put on. Looks like it just takes a flathead, which I have one around here somewhere. This might be too big. Nope. Now that I look at these handles, I might ought to scoot it back that way just a little bit so I don't snag on them. But I also got to keep enough room in the back where my tools are hanging to be able to put them up and take them back down. Alright, let's try them out now. Got a little bit of shavings in there. There's a lot of metal flakes and stuff in these screws. I'll probably take this thing completely apart and clean all that out. So I think I can get to my carriage lock now. Let's see if it works. Okay, so maybe that's not a carriage lock. Okay, so apparently it's not a carriage lock. I thought it was. That bolt was just loose, I guess. Because it was really loose. I thought that was to the carriage lock, but apparently this one don't have one. That's okay. Maybe it's something we can make later on. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get some rags. We're going to take the tailstock off and we're going to start cleaning everything up and trying to get some of the little metal shavings and the grease off of it, and we'll oil everything back up. Alrighty, so still out here playing around. Found first kind of issue, nothing major. I can fix it, I think, but so this is the screw that I was turning is the carriage lock. It don't work. I don't know if it's just not putting enough force on the little crossbar beside the carriage or what's going on. But here's the issue. So I engaged the half nut just to see if everything worked. And you engage the half nut and it engages. You disengage the half nut and the top, I don't know if you can see in there or not, but the top of the half of the nut is not disengaging. It's staying down, so you can't move your carriage. Maybe it's just you see this is completely loose, so I don't know. I'll have to kind of play around with it and see. Maybe it's, if it's running, it's just a friction thing and it lifts it up. I don't know, but I don't think so, because you can feel it. You can feel it move pretty easy. I'll get the camera down there so you can see it better. Alrighty, so let's get the camera in here. So this is the bottom of the half nut, and I don't know if you can see, but it's disengaged. This is the top, and it's staying down. You can move it, it just won't stay up. It's like there's, I don't know if there's like supposed to be a spring in there, which it wasn't an issue before. It only became an issue when I engaged it. So I don't know if there's just something loose or what, but you can see it just falls right back down, which is allowing you not to move the carriage. And I don't want to try to run it like that, because I don't want to mess up my lead screw. So I'll play around with it, see what I can figure out, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I'm back. I got it figured out. So what it is, if you buy one of these lathes and you have this trouble, it's a little tip for you. So it took me a minute to figure it out, but you got these 3 screws on the side, and there's like a little gib way tensioner thingy in there, and apparently the top doesn't move. It just is friction, and it's held in by those that gib way. So they were backed too far out, so it was just sitting there flopping. I was sitting here playing with it, and I took it off the whole carriage for no reason, because when I got the top off, there's no spring or there's nothing that connects the two half nuts together. So it's just purely friction on that top one, I guess. If I'm wrong, correct me in the comments before I break something, but that's the best I can tell. So let me show you what I got. So here's the half nut. You can see it moves. Or, you know, I can move the carriage, and then when I engage it, it locks. The top doesn't have quite as much tension on it as I would like, but the bottom is pushing it into the top. So I'm assuming that right. I tested it out and it works. Let me flip the camera around and I'll show you. All right, so we'll back the carriage up and put it in forward. Close the guard, and then we'll start it on. And then engage the half nut, and it works. Disengage the half nut, and it stops. Speed it up a little bit. Alrighty. Alright, so now that we got that solved, I got to figure out why the carriage lock's not working. And I'm thinking it has something to do with that adjustment as well. I don't know, maybe not, because it seems up higher than that. It looks like there's just a piece of bar that goes under the bed, and it's supposed to clamp down. It's not. I may have to shim it or something. But that's most definitely something I want to use. It makes the carriage a lot more stable when you're doing facing cuts, or, you know, parting off, stuff like that. And just so y'all know, I am not a machinist. I'm not an expert at this at all. So if I'm getting some of this stuff wrong, y'all be sure and let me know in the comments, and I will try to get my act together. Alright, so let's just keep toying around with it some. I'll try to get the chuck and everything on. I haven't got it mounted to the bench yet, so I'm just kind of playing with it right now. I'm not going to run anything in it, yeah, just other than a dry run. But let me get back at it. Alrighty, so I'm back. I'm still cleaning up. I got it mounted to the bench. I put oh, you can see it in there or not? I got the bolt here going all the way through, and then on the other side I got the same. I had to put the nut on this side because I didn't have enough room to fish the bolt through. It bolt's a little too long. It's almost touching, if not touching. So I do think I'm gonna have to reinforce this somehow even better. I got a sheet of real thick aluminum. Maybe I can put underneath it, because even with it bolted down, it's not as rock solid as I would want. I mean, it's not going anywhere, but it moves around. It kind of, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it kind of flexes the bench. That I might revisit this if I have some rigid issues later on. But I set it back a little further than I originally planned, just to clear these handles. I didn't want to get snug on these, you know, like walking by, or I didn't want to get caught nothing on here. So I set it back just about another inch from where I'd planned. You can see my marker here. This is my original plan. It was going to come to about right here, and I took it an inch about this way, so I would have room at the edge of my bench to get the headstock and everything off if I needed to. And my reloading press did not get in the way where I set it back further, so it worked out. But I got a rag and cleaned all this up. I tightened the gibs and the cross slide. It's a lot tighter now. I still got to tighten the compound itself. You can hear that play. I got to figure out how to do that. I'm not 100% sure, but you can hear it. There's a lot of rattle in there. I think a lot of it is just right there itself. And I'm not 100% sure. I don't see any Gibbs screws or anything. It might be behind this plate. I'm not sure. I gotta take it apart and find out. But this is the Creworks CT2140B 1100 watt 8 by 16 lathe. So far I haven't really done a whole lot with it, but so far I'm extremely happy with it. I can't wait to start turning some chips on it. Alrighty, so I got my tailstock tightened down. There's just a screw in there and it's kind of spring loaded, and you just kind of tighten it by hand. I got a ratchet, but I didn't even need it. I just turned it by hand, but now I can move it and tighten it down. It locks in. You can see the shake of the machine a little bit right there. I think the whole bench is moving. I'm gonna have to either revisit this bench or maybe just reinforce it somehow. But we'll see what happens if I start having issues. But that's one more thing off the list. I want to start cleaning this bedway a little bit. I got the compound and the cross slide cleaned. I don't know if you can see that, but I got to get some oil on it. But I got all that grease off, and I got to get me an oiler that fits this style. Oh, I don't have a fitting that fits that. So I'm gonna back this up and we'll clean this, and then I'm gonna slide it forward and clean it back here. Alrighty guys, so I'm back. I got it cleaned up. I got the chuck put on it. I went ahead and done the four jaw. Got everything hooked up and mounted, and I'm gonna practice here with a piece of just PVC I got. Kind of got a little ahead of myself and started cutting before I got the camera back out. So I'm gonna do this on videos just so you can see it. One thing I noticed, I'm most definitely gonna have to tighten this carriage up, because when I work the carriage forward, it's kind of inconsistent. It goes in and out quite a bit actually. But when I use the half nut, it doesn't do it. So I'm most definitely gonna have to figure out a way to tighten this up. Let me get the camera set up and we'll face this off, and we'll just turn the shoulder real quick. Alrighty, here we go. So I don't have any dimensions or anything. I'm just kind of playing with it. Alright, here we go. We're going to face it off. This PVC don't like to break chips. That's about a 5 thou pass. Alrighty, let's check out our work. Alright, as you can see, we just made a shoulder. And you can see that one spot got a little deep. That's where I backed it out. I went the wrong way. We can clean that up. If that was a final dimension cut, we'd have to start over. But the facing does really nice. And that could just, that little bit of groove could just be where it's deflecting, where it is plastic. This stuff does not like to cut chips. It just webs up. All right, let's go ahead and go make a couple more passes. And I'm just going to create a shoulder on it. I'm not really doing anything in particular. I'm just trying to play around, create shapes. But I'll keep cutting. I'll show you the final product. Alrighty, so played with the PVC. Now I'll move to metal, and I got a little bit too much stick out, but let me show you what I'm doing here. So this was a bolt with a hex head, and I faced it off and turned it down. I got there's a couple rough spots in it. I got too much stick out, and there's a lot of run out in it too. It's not a very straight bolt, but I'm just playing around, seeing what I can do. It takes pretty good cuts. It's not bogging it down at all. I done all that by hand, but I could probably clean that up with the auto feed and make it look a little better. Most definitely going to have to tighten up this compound. It is all over the place when it gets under tension, so I'm going to have to figure that out. But so far so good. I like it. It's a lot of fun. But I'm out here just playing around now. I got everything hooked up and set up, and I'm just out here making chips. Well, I feel like this one's probably way too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. Once I get this thing dialed in and start doing some real projects with it, I'll do more videos, a lot more videos on this lathe. And if you're thinking about buying the Creworks lathe and you're looking for a budget, I'd recommend going ahead and buying it, because I waited way too long and I'm very happy with it. So we'll get this compound figured out and we'll start some real projects with it. All right, I'll see you next time.